Monica Jones is here from DW Business, and we have our correspondent Anja Köhler, who has been tracking this story for us. Good to have you both. So, Anja, first, this is a follow-up from the Panama Papers last year. What more have we learned about this shadowy world of offshore holdings?
This is an even broader affair than the Panama Papers. It is similar. Basically, it's all about tax avoidance, but this on a really huge scale. Multinational corporations shift around 600 billion euros every year through these tax havens, and this comes to a cost of everybody else, because obviously it deprives states
governments of money. So who's being implicated?
I couldn't read through all the documents. These are about 13.4 million documents, emails, letters.
And it took lots of media outlets a long time to read through it all.
1 year. But so there are 120 politicians involved in 47 countries at least. There are heads of states. There are donors to political parties, advisors, multinational firms such as Apple and Facebook, but as well people like U2 frontman Bono or the US billionaire Soros. And he, ironically, is one of the donors to the investigative consortium who brought out these stories.
OK, that makes you think. And of course, we saw it in the reporters as well. Donald Trump's Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross is also in those papers. And that's quite juicy because it somehow has to do with the Russia connections.
It is complicated and it is juicy. Wilbur Ross apparently has kept investments, complicated offshore investments, in a shipping firm, Navigator, which is doing business with a Russian firm, which has ties to the inner circle of President Putin. So this is a little dodgy anyway, but at the same time, Wilbur Ross is meant to control the business he's investing in, and he profits from a firm which is run by oligarchs who are under Western sanctions. And the third bit is there are currently investigations, of course, going on to look into Russia being involved into Donald Trump's campaigning.
Now, of course, I mean, tax avoidance, first of all, it is in itself not really illegal, but it is a problem, and it's not a new problem. So briefly, why did governments so far have not done anything about it?
Well, following the Panama Papers, they started to look into it, and some governments promised to dry up these and clean up these tax havens. There has been amendments, there have been investigations going on, but now with the Panama Papers, experts reckon it could be serious because for the first time there are a lot of European and US American people involved.
The movers and shakers of this world, clearly.
Right.
Anja Köhler, thank you so much for shedding
so much more to talk about.
Definitely. And we'll take a closer look now at the actual scheme, because as you just mentioned, Anja, the Paradise Papers, they put the spotlight on the rich and powerful. But what exactly makes those revelations so explosive? Now, while offshore banking has often been associated with money laundering and other crimes, it is per se not illegal to invest your money abroad. The same goes for tax avoidance schemes, mostly used by the famous 1%. So let's take a look at how it works.